What is going on, everybody? I'm back. 3 o'clock in the morning. But we're going to try to get some of this dry brushed. This is a 3D printed dashboard for the game Warcry. It is so you can put your turn dice, your victory point dice, your doubles, your triples, your quads, your wild die, and your initiative. It's just a big piece of plastic that I got from a buddy. He is a 3D printer. And we're going to use the Ghost dry brushes to size 2, size 1, and just see what we can get done on this. See if we can make it look good. I got a few different kind of brassy gold colors. I got Molten Bronze from P3. I got Blighted Gold from P3. I got Gehenna's Gold from Citadel and Balthasar Gold from Citadel. And I think we're just gonna mix them up and just see what happens. So we'll just have some fun, scrub this piece of plastic with our paintbrush. We're really gonna put these dry brushes through the wringer, and we'll see how it comes out. So I got a piece of cardboard here, which you can use to rub the paint off. Also paper towel here if I need it. This size piece, like this large dry brush, this is perfect for like monsters, models, bases without the miniature on them. This piece obviously is big enough that you could go with a much bigger brush, but I want to just demonstrate the Ghost dry brush. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to weather this up like, I don't know, like old gold or something. And I think I'm going to actually keep the edges black. So I'll probably just repaint those pure black, because they don't really have, they're pretty smooth. I think just the top can be nice and the side will just be pure black. So any over brushing is fine. We'll fix it later. Maybe we'll get some of this down in there. And there's no right or wrong to this. We're just having fun. And I just want to show you guys how, if you get some gaming accessories printed out for your board games, like a little character dashboard, or if you play Gasland, some people get their little car dashboards printed out. And I just, with a little bit of work, a little bit of effort, I wouldn't even call it work, you can make it look pretty cool. Now, saying that, I'm assuming this is going to look pretty cool when I'm done. But how could it not, right? Black dry brush with bronze and gold colors is always going to look cool. That's what it does. So we're just being rough here. As always, if you have any questions or anything, definitely let me know in the chat. I'll try to get some in the little... And this isn't like a... This is somewhat of a mix of a dry brush and kind of an over brush, I guess. Because it's kind of our base coat. And this is such a large piece, I'm not trying to sit here and gradually, slowly build everything up. I want to just get this looking good. Ready for tomorrow if my buddy come over and we get some Warcry games in. Hopefully this will give me some good luck. Kick some butt in Warcry. If you watched the last stream, I was doing the oil washes on the Deepkin. Already, I think they look dry enough that I can play with them tomorrow relatively safely. But I'll probably wait until Monday to varnish them again, just to really make sure any of that oil is completely dry. Or dry enough, I guess. Oil paint can take a really long time to dry. If you're waiting on these dry brushes, I'm going to have them hopefully shipped out to you here in the next few months. Gonna try and have all the miniatures, like just the pledges with the miniatures. If you added a miniature, I won't really see it until I get to your pledge, but all the pledges with like the Swamp Troll and Cyclops bust and all of that, I'm gonna try to get those out by the end of August. Hopefully before that. Hopefully I'll be into just the normal brush sets in August. So got a few things in the works to really speed up that printing. So already, compared to just a black piece of plastic, well, it was just a generic white. If you ever seen a 3D printed thing, it's just white plastic. So already going from a white plastic to a primed black and then roughly dry brush with some kind of gold color. I mean, it looks infinitely better. It looks like this old piece of metal, like an old gold plate or something where you're going to put your dice on when you play. It looks better. And we haven't even done any washes or anything yet. But we're going to mix a lot of these. We're going to do all 4 of these colors, and we'll just see how they go. So I'm going to roughly try to go dark to light. So I think I'm going to go this one next. This one, well, they're probably pretty close in value. This one might actually be lighter. But this one looks a little more orange. I think it's going to be more striking to selectively use that one. So roughly dark to light, but Balthasar Gold is next. And I have more metallics. I have washes and stuff we could put on this. I think the inside spots where the dice go, I mean, I think that's done, right? I don't think we need to keep working on that. We'll just now work on the upper areas. And maybe we'll kind of be like a little selective, going like kind of doing almost like stripes. I don't know why. I don't know what that means, but I think it's going to look okay. So I'm just kind of doing the colors. I'm going to do all of them. So here's the piece. I'm going to do all of them diagonal somewhat. Not in straight lines or nothing, but that's kind of the direction I'm going to go. And I'm just going to add some variation into this. And actually this is working, coming out way faster than I thought it was going to. Yeah, I mean, well, that one got a little straight. It's kind of heavy there, heavy there, heavy there. You can kind of see that. Yeah, that one's a little too straight. You can see like there, down. But that's fine. We can break it up later with one of the other colors. Maybe we'll even put some there. So that looks pretty good. Just adding in maybe a little bit in there. Just adding in some different metallics. Filming this as a stream, so of course if you're watching, feel free to chat. But this one I think will have a little bit of value for people to watch in the future as well. Also, please like the video. You know what? Actually, this color here is very close to the previous color. Let's see how it looks on the thing. Yeah, actually, just they look different in the bottles, but they're very close. So I'm just going to use it kind of in the areas where the other color was. And you know what? I don't think it's doing quite enough to make it worth even continuing that color. So let's go to this one, Gehenna's Gold. Hopefully this one's bright enough to see some difference here. Yeah, this one a little more yellow, so that's kind of nice. There we go, just kind of a rustic metal dice tray. It's got a nice look to it. These, I would say, are not the biggest jumps in color. So, we're going to add some silver. We're going to go Iron Breaker. I didn't even really shake this one up yet, but since it's just dry brushing, it should be fine. And we'll kind of just rub it right in on the palette here, which is a piece of cardboard. That way if it picks up any of those brown coppery tones, that's fine. And the reason I can do the silver, I'm still going to keep this same kind of brown color because I think I'm going to hit it with like some washes. So when we do some kind of brown washes, they'll kind of stain this silver a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. If you really wanted to go crazy, you could do like some weathering stuff. So yeah, that was the same dry brush. I didn't wash it between colors. I am going to wash it now. Once you wash them, dry brush, you want it to be dry. So when you wash a dry brush, you really want to either switch dry brushes, really work it into dry paper towels for quite a little while to make sure you get, like, look how much paint is still coming off of it when I'm wiping it on the towel. And unfortunately, actually, my water cup is really dirty. So that's not ideal. I should have got a new water cup before I started. But I knew I was doing oil paints earlier, so I didn't need water. But that's fine. Looks like it's going to stain the brush a little bit here. Unless we can get that worked out. This is giving us some time to dry on our little dashboard here. Yeah, I think it's going to just stain that part, but it's going to be fine. So it looks like, it seems like it should be able to get that paint off, but it's not even moving with my finger. So for whatever reason, it's just going to stain that. And I'll update you if it destroys it, but I don't think it's going to. I think it's actually just going to be fine. So I think we want to go... we want to get washy. When I'm doing projects like this, I like to use colors that, maybe I don't use in my normal painting. That way, you can work towards getting them finished and thrown away. And then hopefully you remember not to buy them again. Not because you don't necessarily like them, but just because they just don't ever end up getting used. Like, I have quite a few colors like that where I buy them, I use them once, and then I'm like, this isn't my favorite wash or whatever. So let's look around a little bit and see what we got. We got some of these inks we could use, which would be nice, but I think all right. Actually, let me see these secret weapons. Secret weapon sepia. I don't think I use that one. Another thing too, when you're working on these big projects, well, not. Oh, it was like it's stuck to the table. You can get these big bottles of Game Wash from Vallejo. This is a brown one. Listen to that. I mean, that is the mother load, almost 7 ounces. And then also it comes in black. And these are really good, especially if you're doing terrain and stuff. Or if you just want to mix your own washes. Like, say you had a blue and you wanted to make a blue black wash, it's instead of going into your Nuln Oil, you could go right into your big pot of game wash, and that'll give you what you're looking for without using the more expensive GW one. You know, so because it's not very silver, I don't honestly think these washes are gonna show up too well unless I add more silver. But let's start first with one of my favorites, which is Dark Rust. This is actually one I use a lot, but I have 2 bottles of it, so it's one of those ones where you go to the game store and you see a color on the shelf and you're like, oh, Dark Rust, I love the Rust one I got, but I don't have Dark Rust. So you buy it and then you go home and you go, oh, I already have Dark. Even though there's 3 different Rust colors in this line, I ended up buying just the same one twice. But I love it. So let's try this out. Put it in our little water bottle cap. It's a nice one. And we can just go with you can go with like a cheap wash brush or whatever, but the dry brushes here, they'll work as a wash brush too. They're soft. So, and should we do the whole thing? Nah. Let's just pick a few areas. And then we're kind of rubbing it with our finger. And these areas obviously show up a little better if they're areas that had silver. Looks like I'm overestimating how much paint I actually need, because already I put like a whole bunch in that water bottle cap, and I've basically already covered this whole thing. That looks cool. Silver with the kind of orange wash on it now. Gives it a little bit more variation again. Ooh, got a lot down there. No rhyme or reason necessarily, just selectively spotting this in and rubbing it with our finger here. Cool. Now it has that almost like Necromunda like kind of rusted out bunker industrial look. Looks good. Looks pretty cool. Give that one a wash. And let's hit it with maybe a little bit of like some oil black grime. And actually, I think I got... There's also this one here, Rust Texture. It's like, I haven't used any of these in a while, actually. This one's like thinned out typhus corrosion. It's pretty nice. Maybe, I don't know, this one's oil stains here. I can't remember. I haven't used these in a while. I don't know why. I was using them. I think I was using them so much on my AdMech. I stopped using them for all my other projects because I used them so much. I don't know if I really want to texture this up though with the weathering stuff. I mean, some of those, like the oil stains, it doesn't have a texture. But what I think I really need is some dark spot, some dark wash. I think a dark brown would work nice. Maybe a dark blue of some kind. Could do like a black ink. I don't really use these scale 75 inks very much. I don't really think they're all that special at all. So that would be a good reason to use it, but that one's literally not even open yet. So what else do we got? Got this oiled earth. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe. We can try that. So this one we'll try. We're going to go oiled earth from Game Wash. And more or less, there's no, well, of course there's no right or wrong answer. So if we could just maybe add some kind of dark spots, which I actually want to do with like almost some black or something, but I think this is going to work too with the browns. Just another fun layer of staining. Oh, my computer's beeping at us. So yeah, when I had that big stripe going down, you can still see a little bit of it remaining, but we've kind of broken it up with some of these colors. And these washes are going to kind of add interesting effects because they're going to look a little different when they go over the silver. They're going to look a little different over the kind of more yellow, metallic, some of the more orange ones, right? So more or less, we got this kind of nice weathered thing here. And I think after that, we go into some kind of black. We got this one. Let's go sewer water from Secret Weapon. What up, Lewis? Yeah, the rust texture is a good one. I don't think this needs texture though. It's already that kind of low quality 3D printer kind of texturized plastic. I think what I actually created here is a little more Necromunda feeling than Warcry. And actually, now that I've done it in this metal, it would have been cool to actually do it in the stone, like I did my terrain. But that's a little late now. But thinking about that, if you get a little 3D printed dashboard for your Warcry, I think this would make a good looking like stone feature. So we're doing a little sewer water wash now. Just kind of putting it in, and we'll let that dry. So there we go, just some staining. Yeah, this, I think I accidentally created a Necromunda dashboard here when I was trying to go for a Warcry dashboard. Oh my god, I hate this Norton antivirus thing so much. I'm going to turn it on silent. Oops. Yeah, I have like all the environment products, I think. I use them on bases and stuff sometimes when I'm doing monsters, like random D&D monsters and things, just making like swamps and whatnot. So yeah, right now we have a very, very Necromunda looking dashboard. What I could do is I could take like a gold and dry brush it back, especially even if I went with like a bright gold, turned it into like almost like a Stormcast gold tablet. And even with all this washes and work we did, it'd still look okay. Like it would still show through in variations, even if we dry brush the whole thing with a color. I could take my airbrush and I could just spray like a glaze of like a yellow ink or something to totally change the color. But I think right now we're okay with this. It definitely looks better than a white piece of 3D printed plastic. So we might have to change the title of this video to how to paint kind of a weathered metal bulkhead or whatever, steel dashboard. Yeah, well, that was kind of fun. I guess I channeled my inner love of Necromunda and Gaslands and did not channel my inner love of of Warcry. You know, it would be cool too if you did like this in stone and then filled in all these with like a little bit of pools of blood or something. That would be cool. I actually could fill them in with like a neon green toxic waste looking substance, but that just still is fully Necromunda looking. So, well, I think we had fun. I think that's about all I got on this. I might debate on if I'm going to do anything with it or just keep it as is. Because like I said, it's just a fun little project to play with the dry brushes. Let's see. Try to show you here in the light. As it reflects. I don't know. I don't know. I'm debating if I think it's worth it to try to bring it back to like a more, I guess, vibrant gold kind of situation. But I think it looks good regardless. What up, Zach? Yeah, it looks full Necromunda to me. Like, I think this would look like an awesome Necromunda thing. It would be a good technique on like metals for like Necromunda doors and terrain and stuff. Doesn't necessarily have the full Warcry vibe to me. I think one way to do that would be just take like something like this Gehenna's Gold and really dry brush heavy back over it and let all this subtle work we did just kind of show through a little bit. There's either that option or the other option would be to airbrush like a layer of a yellow or maybe an orange. Now I think you'd probably have to go yellow and start to try to turn it gold. Do like a yellow ink or like Lamenter's yellow glaze, or maybe try transparent yellow from Pro Acryl. I don't know. Thanks, Lewis. Yeah, I mean, I think it does look good. And when it's on the battlefield, I think maybe just because my terrain for Warcry, I painted like this almost sandstone, really kind of gray, light off-white stone with these purplish shadows. And I probably could have done something like that on this if I thought about it. Oh, it looks like we got a little bit of pooling in our thing there, which is fine, but I'm going to clean that up. So, but yeah, I always think that's fun. If you watch my stream where I dry brush the Sigmar head statue on my Warcry terrain, and I've done it some other times. This is like an old technique that I feel like we used to do in the early 2000s or something when I was first starting to learn how to paint. But like, especially on old Warhammer Fantasy models, like you would paint chainmail black and then dry brush silver on top of it. Or you would paint their sword black and dry brush silver. And I've always thought it looks pretty cool when you dry brush metallics just over black. And then you pile on the washes and you get something pretty neat. So, I don't know. That's it for this stream, I guess. That went way quicker than I thought. I thought this would take a while, and now, I mean, it's basically been done for a little bit, and I'm just dragging it out, I guess. So, it's 3:30. I think that's about it for me. I might see if I can get some stuff prepped. Probably get a game or so in tomorrow of Warcry if some friends come over. hopefully you guys are all getting some stuff painted. Please like and subscribe. It helps a lot. And I think this one will be a fun one if you're looking how to maybe just doll up your 3D printed gaming accessories, and you can go into kind of a rusted metal look or whatever I accomplished here. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like and subscribe.